our friend. I mean, people think that Dele Ogun is got it in for the British. No, as I said, there's a good, the bad, and the ugly amongst all ethnic groups and all peoples. And you just have to be diligent and careful to separate the wheat from the chaff, to identify the good ones, whilst not pulling punches when it comes to dealing with the baddies. She is definitely one of the goodies. She's a Geordie, and those ones have a reputation within England of always speaking their mind. Jo is one of the founding directors of a company that provides advisory and insight across public, private, and third sectors in UK and Africa. She is a BA Honours French graduate, 1969, of the University of Newcastle upon Tyne, and a long-time friend and student of Nigerian life and politics. In her 40-plus years of career, she has worked in law and economic development with a special interest in public law and constitutions great and small. She has maintained a lifelong interest in poetry, arts and culture, especially French language and literature, and the Celtic culture of her birthplace in Northumberland, as well as Black and African theatre, literature and film. To deliver a poem penciled by herself from her own hands, I invite Jo Wealleans to take the platform.
I want to say a special hi, Philip. Take the chance to say hello over the miles. It's a long time since we met. I hope we meet again soon.
Yes.
And I hope that Dr. Minyuku can hear this as well. I'm afraid this is going to be a sad moment, people, you know, because the motivation for writing this little poem, it's very short, just a few lines, arose from a previous conference of the Fatherland Group, where I heard my longtime friend and colleague, Timothy Modu, just like Chimmy today. Tim and Chimmy both naturally said a prayer for the souls of the dead of Biafra. And that's a great balm to my soul, because I grew up in a world where we were taught a certain set of values about the value of human life, the role of government, the difference between good and evil. And then came the Biafran War, so-called Biafran War. And as a young student, I can't tell you the agony and the frustration of seeing in the newspapers and on the television that so many people were dying, especially the children. They were dying in numbers. And we came to know that what our government was doing was equipping the Nigerian government, and we now know with just how much weaponry, to go and help them to kill people who were already starving and dying. So there needs to be a proper recognition of that. Abuse is not the big enough word. You know, commission of genocide that we participated in, you know. I have to say we, because I am one of them by citizenship, if not by ethnicity. So anyway, without further ado, and also bearing in mind what happened at Lekki Tollgate and what's happening daily in Nigeria, where people and children are dying just like that. I'll now read you my little poem for the children of Biafra. And I must mention the World War I poet Wilfred Owen, who felt similarly moved at the fate of his compatriots and the men who were dying all around him every day in the First World War. He wrote a poem. Mine is kind of, it has echoes of that for those who know that, and I can pass on for those who want to see it, my little compilation of my poem, his poem, and another similar one that I wrote. So here is my poem for the children of Biafra. What recompense for these, dying still as less than cattle? Only the shrill denials of politicians and the futile agony of populations, powerless then and now. Too young ever to vote, schools bombed, girls raped, bodies shrunk with kwashiorkor. Only the darkness and the forest and the insane jet fighters roar. Still, the guardians of the law still kill and move us on in order to protect the politicians from ever being wrong. That's it.
Thank you so much. Such moving words, moving reflection. Let us never forget. And most importantly, let us never forget what I say. And indeed what Professor Effiong said, the danger of generalizing from the few to the many, and remembering that amongst us, there are good people in every ethnic group and bad people in every ethnic group. And we must try harder to separate the good from the bad and from the ugly. Thank you very much, Joe. You've spoken on behalf of the good people of Britain. I know that you will take the message back that the Fatherland Group is not anti-British. We're only anti the bad Britons, and we will never shy away from calling them out when we see them. As we always say, if we see it, we will say it. That's the Fatherland philosophy.